Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and if you are listening to this today, I'm going to be doing a video for you guys, and it's going to be on any messages for the next couple of weeks for the collective. So collective messages from the universe. I have a big old table here, but I have a little tiny tablecloth here specifically for my tarot. So I also have here this beautiful candle. This is not sponsored, by the way, but for those of you that are looking for good candles, I love DW Home. I don't know if anybody else has seen their candles. And this scent is rose petals. I love anything that is scented with rose. So I have it. It smells so good, and I'm going to light that. So got that lit. I'm going to put it right here. Put it right here where the camera can see it. And I'm just going to say a prayer for those of you that want. Father God, I ask for divine protection going into this reading, giving these messages to my rays of light and anybody here on my channel. I also ask for the Holy Spirit to guide me and all negativity to be cast out, all lower entities, any demonic influences to be banished from this reading. And I ask in your mighty name. Amen. So we're going to get started. So I have here several different decks. My favorite, of course, the Rider-Waite. But I'm not going to start with the Rider-Waite. I also have this new deck here by James Van Praagh. This is the Soul's Journey card. So it's actually a new deck. I'm going to open it up. And then I also have here the Goddess Oracle deck, which is another one that I'm going to look at. So grab your tea, grab your snacks. Let's see what's going to come about. So what are the messages for the collective? Because I know that the energy out there right now is kind of oppressive. It is kind of heavy for a lot of people. So we're just going to see, like, what are the main messages that Spirit wants to share with you guys. And I hope everybody's doing well. Let's get these cards out. All right, so people often ask me, like in my classes that I'm teaching or on Patreon, like, what are the, like, how many times do you need to shuffle your cards? Like that, I feel like some people like 3 times, some people like 7 times, basically. It's tailored up to you. As you become familiar with yourself, with your reading, you're comfortable. You can use whatever, however many times you want to shuffle, you can do that. And you can use whatever deck you feel most comfortable with. I feel a lot comfortable with the Rider-Waite, but I also use a lot of different tarot decks and oracle decks. So, all right, so here are the messages. I usually flip the cards over as I get them, so I'm just going to pull them and leave them upside down until I get ready. And I'll show them up to the camera. And again, I don't read in reverse. So for the next 4 weeks, Spirit, what does Spirit have to say? What are the messages for the collective? So the first card we got here is happiness. I'm aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. So with everything that's going on right now, I know that it feels very chaotic. I know that a lot of people are like, this is just crazy what's happening in the world right now with COVID, with, everything else. So, but I think that Spirit is saying here mainly for you guys to be happy in your life and in the things that, that make you happy the most. Knowing that, happiness is an inside job as well. It's something that starts in the very core of your essence and who you are. Other people cannot make you happy. Material items is, they can give you temporary happiness, but ultimately it's something that we have to learn to be happy genuinely for ourselves by doing things that make you happy, or surrounding yourself with good energy, thinking positive thoughts. The next one is honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So again, standing in your truth, it's very important right now. We're living in a world where a lot of things are obscure, a lot of things are being hidden. So much stuff is going on, and at the forefront of everything, Spirit is telling you to stand in your truth. It doesn't matter that other people are not being truthful, right? This is not a time to spread pandemonium. It's not a time to be resentful, but to rather accept things the way that, you know, the divine power has it. Regardless if it doesn't feel, you know, like it's the most comfortable thing, or you don't agree with it, because again, this is all about the universe, and the universe knows what's best for us. So again, being very honest, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be struggling with that, being honest with themselves, asking yourself like what makes you, you know, feel the happiest as well. So these two cards go in connection with one another. Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason, which is so true. You know, this is talking about the soul's journey. These are cards about lessons. And so I think the collective right now, more than ever, are, you know, banding together, whether you know, you're in, you know, you have one belief or you have a different belief, but people are banding together and they're trying to come together and really provide comfort for one another. Because again, being very lonely, being by yourself, sometimes it's not the best thing. And I do not believe as a spiritualist that we were sent to earth to really just, you know, live and work and co-create, you know, or have children and then die, you know, and be by ourselves. Like, I do believe that there's a reason that we have a soul tribe. There's a reason I have my rays of light, you guys out there who I love and adore so, so much. There's a reason, you know, why you have your bestie or whoever that person is that is your best friend. There's a reason for that. And so I think, you know, this is the time right now for the next couple of weeks is to surround yourself with good friends, to cherish your friendships, because I think a lot of people don't actually cherish their friends. And if you haven't let your friend know like how important they are to you, this is the time to do so. Like, what are you waiting for? The next card we got here is gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents itself. So again, no one said that coming into this life was going to be an easy task, right? No one said that it was going to be happy all the time. And it's very evident with 2020, how that year played out, and now that we're in 2021. But again, the message here for the collective is to kind of find the gratitude in your heart, right? To be very grateful, because again, through that, you can get happy, you can get the honesty, and you can get the friendships when you're grateful for that. Gratefulness opens up a doorway. So like you see this is almost like an eye being open, like a portal. That's kind of like how gratitude works, right? When you're grateful for something, the universe acknowledges that, and it creates an opening for you to have different opportunities and blessings to pour into your life. But there's different layers to that before you can get to that center portal, right? To that opening of gratitude. It takes sometimes it takes people so many years, right? Or a lifetime to master that, because you know, a lot of people go through loss, through grieving, losing you know, a loved one that has crossed over, or losing you know, just having hardships financially, maybe going homeless. With the pandemic, a lot of people have gone, you know, out of business, you know, and are struggling. So again, this is kind of like the universal messages for the collective for the next 4 weeks or so. So now we're going to get into another deck, Oracle deck. Let me just put this one up. I always like having my decks organized when I put them up. And so I'm going to just put this up. And now I'm going to get the Goddess Oracle, which I really like these cards. Again, it's by Amy Sophia Marashinsky, and then Rana Jonto, I think is how you say it. So it is very illustrated. I don't know if I've even worked with these before. I think I have, but I'm not certain. I'm pretty sure I have, but maybe not on a video yet. So just getting them out. These are fairly larger, the cards, that is. So just putting that back in. All right, so let's get these cards to shuffle. And I'm going to shuffle 3 times, and then I'll do some additional shuffles in my hand. See what messages that these cards have for us as a collective. Wow, some cards just popped out already. And I'm going to leave them because I do believe these are messages for you guys when cards pop out. And again, everybody's method of shuffling is different. Some people like to keep shuffling until a card pops out. I just shuffle and then I'll select some. That just slid, it didn't pop out, so I slid it back in. They're real slippery though, this deck. All right, so, oops. Okay, I'm gonna pull these 3 cards out. All right, so here are the messages. Let's start with these 2. Here, the first card is Aphrodite, love. All right, so that's like the universal message. And this is something that I've even said for the longest, that we need to love one another. We need to be very appreciative of everything. But I also feel like this is the Holy Spirit. This is not just Aphrodite itself, but it's like the Holy Spirit is represented sometimes throughout religion or through different belief systems as a bird or a dove. But I think it's even bigger than that. I think this is like Mother Earth, like Gaia, also saying that she loves us, right? So again, if you've been feeling unloved, I think the message here is that you are not alone. You are loved by the universe. You're loved by your angels, by the unseen forces that protect you. And then we have here Kuan Yin, compassion. This is a time for us to come together and be compassionate despite you know, any differences that we have in beliefs or otherwise, right? This is a time for compassion. This is a time that the universe is needing us to come together, to be one, to be healing, and move forward. And then we have Bridget, inspiration, like the power of 3, right? Inspiration. So this is like a very big card. I think a lot of people are going to be in the next couple of weeks receiving a lot of spiritual downloads. Really getting in tune with their higher selves and the universe, because a lot of the great ideas and policies and things like that are happening in the world, a lot of them have come from heaven. They have come from the spiritual realm. A lot of our spirit guides, angels, you know, they are on the other side always working through issues or working through ideas before those ideas are pushed down in the form of spiritual downloads to us here on earth. So again, this is a time to really just kind of enjoy. I feel like inspiration. A lot of you are going to be inspired over the next couple of weeks to do things differently. Maya, illusion, just being careful. It's very much, I like the illustration here because it's very appropriate for the card of illusions. You know, when you wrap yourself or cover yourself. Again, going back to the other couple of cards that I had pulled, which was about authenticity. This is kind of falling in the same line, you know, to kind of see beyond the illusions that are being presented. Whether it's being presented, you know, through social media or, you know, television or any other place. You know, it could be just through friendships that are kind of more, they operate out of illusions, and seeing through their, you know, I think, you know, seeing through that can help you avoid conflict and avoid falling down that road of hardships, right? But again, some of us like to hide behind illusions because it's our safety zone. So it's not always a negative aspect, you know. Sometimes it is your comfort zone, and it's what makes you feel a little bit more protected or invisible from other people because you're not confident. But again, this is a period of time where you're going to have to work through using love, compassion, surrounding yourself with those 2 things, and also incorporating that into your life right now, and the inspiration, your creativity, so that you can get to this point where you're not, you know, in a state of illusion, right? You are being your most truthful self. And then we have here Durga, boundaries. So again, I feel like a lot of you are going to be setting up some healthy boundaries. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're setting up healthy boundaries with people, but rather with yourself. You know, are you staying up late at night? Are you not getting any kind of sleep? Are you drinking caffeine and it's causing you to stay up, you know, and you haven't been able to go to sleep? Again, these are the things you're going to have to ask yourself. And I think it's going to be very much a revelation to you guys that these are the things that you need to work on, and these are the things that are happening and playing out in your life Boundaries are not a bad thing. Boundaries are absolutely a good thing. So again, this is what I feel like the message here for the collective is with these with this deck here. So again, boundaries. I'm called to pull one more card, so I'm just gonna get that deck and give it a quick shuffle, and they want me to pull one more card for you guys. So let me just see. Let's see. All right, doubt. I have the card here of, I don't know how you say it, Rhiannon, but it's doubt. Again, a lot of doubt. So I think a lot of people are still fighting with one another. There's still the illusions, the boundaries, and again, doubt here. There's some doubt that things are going to get better. There's doubt that things are going to improve. But I feel like the message here from the collective is that through compassion, through love, through your creativity, and, you know, friendships, like the other cards that I had pulled earlier, the message is very, very clear. We will push through the boundaries, right? And we will also set up healthy boundaries for ourselves. But the doubt is still there. So I feel like Spirit is saying, don't doubt yourself. Don't do that. Like when you put something out into the universe, like a desire, you know, or a wish, or you're trying to manifest something, you cannot do it with doubt. As long as you have doubt in the back of your mind, or you're very doubtful when you're doing something, it's not going to, it hinders, it nulls, and it voids that petition or that prayer request, because you already have doubt set in. So this goes back to the laws of attraction, right? To manifesting, we have to kind of stick together, and we have to stay very strong, even though it's very hard to have faith. We have to have faith. So the last thing that I'm going to do is use the Rider-Waite and see what other kind of things or energies, messages that come through for you guys over the next 4 weeks or so. So let's just see. Let's just see. All right. So I'm just going to randomly pull some cards and leave them face down. Again, some people like to like spread them and then just pull. I just kind of like wherever I'm guided to, it's where I'm going to pull. There's no particular way. Okay, so first card is a Knight of Wands. Again, I feel like, again, creativity, going towards projects, things, and ideas that we want to see manifested, right? And if it's love that you're looking for in your life over the next 4 weeks, it can potentially come to you. It's very possible if this is what you're focused on. But again, I feel like, again, a lot of you are moving forward with ideas of creativity, with, you know, things that you want to do, whether it's career changes, whatnot. Then we have here the Eight of Pentacles. So again, I feel like people are working very hard over the next couple of 4 weeks, right? Or so. People are working very, very hard. We still have this element here with the Five of Swords where people don't feel comfortable. People are looking out. People feel like other people are out to get them. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the government. You know, there's a lot of things that are going on in the world. The pandemic. So again, it feels, you know, like people are still trying to find their meaning for this year. Like, what do they want to accomplish this year? Again, and then also, as we look here, people are working hard, but at the same time, there's this feeling here of kind of like war, kind of like this feeling that things are not very comfortable in the world right now. But let's see. Okay, then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So that's a positive card. I kind of feel like with the Wheel of Fortune, again, if you're not familiar with the Wheel of Fortune, it is a sign or a prelude to, you know, luck changing, things moving forward. So wherever, you know, we've experienced as a collective heavy or oppressive energy over the last, you know, couple of weeks as we transitioned into 2021, and we are in the month of January. You know, January has been like Regina George from Mean Girls. I'm just saying. I even did a meme on that on Instagram if you follow me. But, you know, it is like the Regina George. And so I feel like we have the Wheel of Fortune coming in. So with that, for me, it's symbolizing that there is change. It is, as a collective, we're moving past all of this right here, the bickering, not seeing together. A lot of us are trying to do the hardest to do that. Justice. So again, I feel like this is about balance. But also, you know, not just balance, but what is going on in the world. People want justice. People want the truth of certain situations that are, you know, have played out to come to light. So I kind of feel like with this Wheel of Fortune and that we are gravitating towards that. So again, expect a lot of still, you know, shocking news or things to kind of be leaked out in whatever that means. You know, I'm not trying to get into anything in particular or make it about any particular situation, but it is what it is when it comes to the cards. You know, the Justice is like also a feeling of you know, like I said, balance and being if there was any wrongs in your life, like them being made right. Okay. Then we have the Ace of Wands. So a lot of wand energy. We started off with the Knight of Wands. Now we have the Ace of Wands, which tells me like this is a card of like basically getting ahead. If you had goals or projects, you're moving ahead, you're conquering that, you are being victorious in what you want. This could also be very much like, you know, and I think a lot of people don't really associate it, or maybe some do, but I think, you know, it could be this symbolism of marriage or an engagement, something like really, really big when it comes to love. It's not the Ace of Cups, but don't get me wrong. But again, the Ace of Wands is still a card I feel like that can have different interpretations or meanings when it comes to that. Because it's a very divine masculine card. When we look at the wands, again, it represents the phallus of the man. So again, I feel like there's a lot of sexual undertones, a lot of energy that is focused on relationships as well over the next 4 weeks. And then we have here the Eight of Cups, which is a very kind of somber, or I don't even know if that's like even, that's not probably not the word I'm looking for, a very kind of like sad card, a kind of gloomy card. It's like walking away, like, you know, things are happening where people are walking away from the negativity. People are not willing to start off the year, you know, since we are barely in January, and this is like the reading for the next 4 months, and we're barely mid-January, you know, of 2021. People are trying to walk away from the negativity, walk away from a lot of the stuff. So this is not necessarily so gloomy, because sometimes when we walk away from, you know, things, it does usher in a new beginning as well. So again, we are gravitating to something new. The High Priestess, I pulled another card here. The High Priestess card is a card of intuition. So we are, a lot of you are developing your intuition, your gift of discernment, whether it is, you know, a psychic gift, a clair, or something else. There is this level of discernment that you guys are really gravitating towards, and it's like you are trusting your intuition more over the next 4 weeks about, you know, your life and things that are playing out in the world. And then we have here the Five of Pentacles. So again, I feel like that is how people feel right now with, you know, people are struggling financially. Over the next couple of weeks, it's still like a continuation, because we're still in the winter months, right? There's still, and that's very appropriate for that card. I feel like this is still a continuation. It still feels a little heavy, but we have here the Empress. So again, I feel like the divine feminine rises up. For a lot of you women in particular, this is your time to kind of play that role as, you know, the nurturer, the mother, or the powerhouse. Maybe you're the primary breadwinner in your family. But this is a time for you to kind of step up and maybe compensate for the divine masculine, which is not very evident right now over the next 4 weeks, you know. But, you know, ultimately, the divine masculine, I feel, comes in with the Three of Wands. So I guess we get into spring, you know, over the next 4 weeks, we're still going to be like in winter, because spring doesn't come until, I believe, until March. I could be wrong, but, you know, as we look into this, the next 3 weeks or so as well, there's a lot of planning, a lot of goals for the future. But I feel like ultimately, since this is the last card of this reading as an entirety, I feel like we're gravitating to happier times. Like I said, things are shifting, even though we've had in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of people, you know, passing from this, in the middle of all the things that are going on in the world. We are moving into this happier place, consciously speaking, because again, remember, this is a collective message. And again, we're talking about consciousness, people that have been in the 3D now gravitating to 5D, and 5D brings more stability. It brings more of the happiness. Also notice the color of the cards here. And I guess I'm doing like a mini tutorial here teaching tarot. But again, if you haven't signed up for my tarot class, it's on my website. You can go to the events section. Or if you go to Instagram and follow me at Psychic Medium Ray, it's in my link. You can click my link and then in my bio, and then you can click, and then I'll probably try to drop the link here on this video as well to my tarot course. But as you can see, the color of the cards, they kind of went from a gloomy grayish blue, and then the last card we got here is this bright yellow, which is, it symbolizes, yellow is the color of happiness. It's the color of the sun, like golden, right? So again, divine masculine, I feel like this is like God, this is source telling us that everything is going to get eventually better, even though things are not necessarily in the physical world better, but spiritually we're getting to a point where it feels a little bit better. Things are progressively going to improve, right? Where we've seen struggles, people struggling emotionally, having to leave behind situations that were not healthy, trusting your intuition even though it's the hardest part to let go, and then having financial struggles, you know, and then having to deal with, you know, people not agreeing with you with this card here, the Five of Swords, right? So again, as a culmination of things. But again, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it helps you. You know, and if you haven't followed me on Patreon, go and follow me on Patreon. So follow me on MeWe at Psychic Medium Ray. And again, if you have not subscribed to my website, go to www.raymondguzman.net well, actually just www.raymondguzman.net. Scroll down to the very front of the homepage, and then when you do that, you can go ahead and enter your name and your valid email address, and then you will be subscribed to my website for any email updates or anything else, you know, that we need to stay in contact with. All right, guys, I love you so much. Until next time. Bye.